Sometimes, due to an illness or injury, a police officer is unable to perform his or her regular assignments, but is capable of performing alternate duties such as administrative work. Not only does light duty give officers the opportunity to remain productive while he or she is physically unfit for street duty, but this type of work allows the department to take care of tasks that have been pushed to the back burner. Let's go to Officer Aaron White, who is with Officer Lisa Capalla, to find out more about what light duty work entails.
Thank you, Brian. I'm at the Edina Police Department today, and we get to do a couple things on the show here today. We get to introduce somebody that's never been on the show, one of our police officers, and to talk about a different concept. And let's start with you. You're Lisa Capalla, one of the police officers here at the Edina Police Department. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And then part two, as I said, we would talk about something new, something we haven't introduced before, and specifically, we're talking about light duty assignments. A lot of people maybe don't think that the work of a police officer, sure, we spend a fair amount of time sitting in police cars, but the truth is, you never know when you're going to need to be physical or be out there running around or chasing a bad guy, right?
Right.
And in your case, and in the case of some officers, you know, we can't prevent the occasional injury or surgery or something along those lines. And like a lot of our officers here, you have a background in specifically dispatching. Tell me a little bit about your experience away from the Edina Police Department.
Well, I've worked for a private company. The majority of my time there actually was spent in the dispatch center. I went in there when I went to college the first time, and it's always been a part-time job, and now it's a casual job, and it's just something that I've always just held on to, something to do that's different.
So we've referred to this as light duty. Some people might think light duty, you know, busy work, finding something to do for Lisa while you recover from your injury. But really, what we're doing with a lot of these assignments is kind of filling holes, aren't we? Meeting needs that maybe, you know, we're a little behind on. I know we've got some projects where officers have, you know, even if it involves files and paperwork, are doing some catch-up work. And in your case, you're filling in for kind of a short dispatch center.
Yes, the dispatch center has been short ever since we took on Golden Valley, and it takes a long time to hire somebody.
Sure.
So, and the training process is long too. So it's actually been nice because I've been able to work in there as a third person.
Sure.
It's been very challenging at times. So I'm glad that I could be of help to them during this time.
Well, and you hit on a good point. Our dispatchers are extremely well-trained, experienced employees, and your talents, your experience in that are certainly unique in that this is certainly not a job we could just give somebody a couple hours of training and saying, you're a dispatcher, could we?
No, and the only reason it worked out for me was because I know how to use the radios. It's the same radio system that I use. I just experience with getting information on calls and using the phones and using the CAD systems that we use. I did have to undergo some training, but for the most part, a lot of the things that we do in there, I already had some experience with. So it helped the training go by much quicker than it normally would have.
How about missing the street? Are you looking forward to getting back out there in the squad?
Yeah, I do miss it. So.
Good. But it sounds like you're having a good time and you're certainly filling a need, and that's really a message we want to get out there is we not only support the officers that need a little time away from the road, but we also find very useful things for you to do. So
yes.
I wish you a rapid recovery.
Thank you.
And thanks for sharing a little of what you're doing during this light duty recovery period.
Thank you.
Officer Lisa Capalla, one of the police officers here at the Edina Police Department, and we'll return to you, Brian.
Thank you, Aaron.